guys, welcome to the channel of love. Okay, 5 times I've tried to get this reading out. Well, this is my 5th attempt. Okay, we're going to do a Celtic Cross and we're using the Rider-Waite. When I can't get a story out, it's best to have some structure. So we go to the traditional Rider-Waite tarot and we'll do a Celtic Cross and we're going to have a look. I'm trying to get a weekend reading out for you guys. There's, well, I've already pulled 4 stories. There's some stories running around out there. So we need to just kind of focus on the main collective story, please. Okay, let's do a Celtic Cross. Let's have a look at the situation. What's going on? The Divine Masculine there with the infinity symbol. He's juggling the connection. Okay. I feel that he's feeling the rubber band effect. When one pulls away, the other one is drawn back. So I feel that he's maybe doing a bit of a balancing act here, feeling the connection and the pull of the connection. Emotional loss is what is challenging him. This is about letting go of the past and being able to move towards the connection. He's still focusing on past events. It's like these past events have made him sick to his stomach. What's happened in the past? Let's have a look at what's gone on over the week. He's been thinking about spiritual union. He is at the end of his load. He's at the end of his road. You might receive an unexpected visit. Being at the end of the road, he could be trying to locate the divine feminine here. If I said he feels sick to his stomach, I believe he's just sick of fighting the connection. Okay, let's have a look at the current energy, the Death card. That's when you come back transformed, changed. So I feel as if the Divine Masculine is preparing, maybe for a trip. Looks like he's got blessings here. Okay, he's shining bright. He's on his way somewhere. Transformation card. Okay, let's look into, because that's the current energy, let's look into the weekend. The Magician. So the universe is directing the Divine Masculine to the Divine Feminine. I'm just going to pull these cards out and then I'm going to show you them. Now I need to make some space. What's going on behind the scenes? The Hierophant. Divine. This is so divinely directed. And it looks like the Divine Masculine is being directed towards the Divine Feminine, actually in location, physical location. Okay. Right, let me show you these. So if you look here, we've got the Two of Pentacles. He's doing his kind of juggling act here with the infinity symbol. Choppy times are behind him. He's on this fresh, clean path here. What's any challenges? Getting over the past. I feel that he's kind of sick of looking at that. Maybe if he turns himself around, he's going to be looking upwards, isn't he? The cups are here. This is kind of like, the only way is up, baby. So, past energy is the connection with the Divine Masculine here, a world in his hands, a rod ready to offer. I said that he's at the end of the road, so he's definitely going in a new direction. Current energy is the Death card. The transformation, spiritual transformation, he's ready. He looks like he's left behind. He shed his skins, look. He's ready to go again. And then we have here, if you look, the Magician here is pointing at the Death card and kind of show him the Divine Masculine to the Divine Feminine. Behind the scene, what's going on behind the scenes, you can see there's masculines here waiting for direction, waiting for spiritual guidance. It's very interesting. Okay. Let's see how the Divine Masculine's viewing himself. There's a fear here that he might get it in the neck. But I believe he's just sick of actually avoiding the connection. Okay. And he's being divinely directed to the Divine Feminine. How he's viewing himself? He's going after his legacy. He knows that this is the next move for him. He's feeling abundant. This is his birthright, and he knows it. Okay, how others are viewing the Divine Masculine. Well, he's producing a very long-term offer here that has been long thought about, long thought after. I felt like this was having a good think after events have taken place. A long thought after. So I believe that this Divine Masculine has been, you know, kind of spiritually awake maybe for a while. Because this is, you know, slow and steady wins the race. So this has been a long time coming. I felt like this is a long time due. So the Divine Masculine is being guided, directed to what is due to him. Let's have a look at any hopes or fears. The Lovers, maybe getting it in the neck, like I said. The Divine Masculine's still feeling a little bit defensive, as if he may be triggered. He's gone through a spiritual awakening. He's just about to show himself or turn up. Turn up to the Divine Feminine in however way that transpires. He just needs to let his guard down. There's this fear of being vulnerable. But I feel like this needs to be taken now because this is just too much of a burden. It's like he has been enlightened here. Look around his head. So there's this either fear of rejection, but I feel he's going to stand his ground and have the conversation. It's whether or not his guard's going to go up. Okay, let's have a look at the outcome. So the outcome is when the advice is followed throughout the reading, and the outcome would be the King of Wands, the passionate king. So he has passion and pleasure. That's what he attains. The King of Wands is about future planning, planning the legacy, a new path for the Divine Masculine. Only looking up now. He's got his head held high. Okay. What's the bottom of the deck? Justice. Being divinely guided to what you are due. And I believe the Divine Masculine is just sick of not having it. Okay. Let's clarify with the Fairy Tarot. Let's do it. Okay. Two of Pentacles. I said about the rubber band effect. When one pulls away, the other one is kind of has this pull to go back. the Nine of Autumn to the Divine Feminine. Reward yourself for all your hard work, being happily and successfully self-employed, cherishing your time alone. So the Divine Feminine here is single, self-employed, looking after herself and working on herself. And that's why the masculine now can feel the pull away from the Divine Feminine, because she is self-sufficient. So she's not dependable upon the masculines, but that as she pulls away, he's drawn closer. Okay. The block is dwelling on past events. And I believe the Divine Masculine is kind of sick of doing this, and really he needs to kind of look up now. The Ace of Summer. Unconditional love. It's time to receive your cup of love that's way overdue. So open your heart to love. Like I said, I feel like the Divine Masculine here has blocked it out maybe. But I think he's standing his ground and he's going to open it up to love regardless. It's like he takes his chances. So open your heart to love, the beginning of a new intimate relationship, or the rebirth of a current one, the awakening of psychic abilities or spiritual epiphanies. It's like that bird of peace there. So I feel like the Divine Masculine just really wants peace in his life now, but he needs to open his heart up to love. There's the opportunity for the beginning of an intimate relationship, or the rebirth of the connection between the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. Okay. So what's gone on in your past? Two of Cups. The Divine Masculine's been looking at this connection, planning it. Planning to, when did I say the other day, announce himself? That would make sense. So he could just turn up out of the blue. So expect the unexpected, Divine Feminines. Because I said that he could be at the end of the road. End of his road, end of your road. Past. He may have been doing research to try and locate you, or to consider how to return. So let's have a look. How to accept the Divine Feminine's love, because it says here, open your heart to love, and that's the cup that he's taking there from the feminine. It looks like she's kind of, she's not travelling, so I believe that he comes to her. Let's see what card wants to come out. The Two of Spring. This is off to Avalon. I know this card. This is when the masculines go to the island of Avalon, and in Avalon are Divine Feminines who help the Divine Masculines to heal. And they kind of go there first before... Avalon, I believe, is where they say that King Arthur went to. It's where Excalibur was, I want to say welded, I'm not sure, but it was the resting place of King Arthur. Anyway, let's have a look at Avalon. Two of Spring. A bright future manifested through hard work and creativity, partnering with others who share your dreams, great progress being made. So just with the boat here, it looks like there's kind of this planning that's gone on. Turning the boat over, preparing for travel. And I feel that's what the Divine Masculine's been doing in the past energy, is preparing for travel. Let's read the Two of Spring. There's my book. Okay. You're off to a wonderful start. It's as if you have the whole world in your hand. Well, you sure do. A Divine Feminine and the world? Okay. Choices about the short-term future now appear. And the most important thing to remember is that it's safe to take chances. If you had every possible resource at your disposal, what brave new steps would you take? Evaluate the situation and then move forward quickly. Many more opportunities are on the way. The possibility of forming a partnership with others may present itself. This can be a wonderful way to move mutual dreams forward as you encourage each other to continue to follow your passions. Just make sure that you're truly on the same page with anyone you consider pairing up with. Our two fairies have worked together to build a beautiful boat that is nearly finished. All they need to do is install the purple butterfly sails, and their journey to magical Avalon will be successfully underway. Additional meanings of this card: a bright future, joint creative endeavours, success through hard work, great progress being made, gay relationships or friendships. I picked up here. So he's on his way. All that needed to happen was those purple, were they fairy wings? Butterfly, sorry. All they need to do is install the purple butterfly sails. And I believe that's divine. The purple there, just kind of the crown chakra, being guided by divine, being open and flowing. And those wings just need to go on, and the divine masculine's on his way. And I want to say to pair up with the divine feminine. It says make sure, just make sure that you're truly on the same page with anyone you consider pairing up with. Okay, here's the passions. The possibility of forming a partnership with others may present itself. This can be a wonderful way to move mutual dreams forward as you encourage each other to continue to follow your passions. Okay, let's move on to the current energy, which is the Death card. Spiritual transformation. So he's on his horse. He's all shiny. He's ready. And it's a Strength card. So he's off to the Divine Feminine. The grace and inner strength needed to overcome challenges. The power of kindness and forgiveness. Time to embrace how wonderful you are. Look at the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine there with that baby lamb. I'm going to have to read this. Card number 11. Okay. The Golden Rule asks us to treat others as we would like to be treated ourselves. When you show kindness and respect to those around you, they are drawn to you as a pillar of strength. So let's go back to the rubber band effect. Okay. So we have the Divine Feminine in her Divine Feminineness. And that is, she's kind of learnt the Golden Rule, asks us to treat others as we would like to be treated ourselves. So she's treating herself with the respect that she expects from others, and then giving that out as well, including to the Divine Masculine. But it's like a non-neediness, okay? She's learned how to love herself. And it says, when you show kindness and respect to those around you, they are drawn to you as a pillar of strength. Having the courage of your convictions will get you through any challenge, great or small. You are a very sensitive and caring soul. This is a strength, not a weakness. Don't be afraid to show your empathy for others, while also standing up for yourself should you need to say no. Our fairy stands with the lion and the lamb, symbolising that there's strength with gentleness. Additional meanings of this card: the power of kindness, forgiving yourself and others, overcoming challenges through grace and willpower, and having patience with those around you and believing in yourself. So I believe that draw there is the masculines going to the Divine Feminine for her. She's a pillar of strength for him. That's all being directed to the Divine Feminine in the future energy from Divine. This is where the Divine Masculine will find his stability, his security, his passion, and his longevity. Let's pull a card. The Six of Autumn. Let's finding the balance here. The good you do comes back to you. So this is kind of like the reward for the Divine Feminine here. The good and the kindness, gentleness, the grace that she sends out and gives to herself is finding its way back. So the good you do comes back to you, an unexpected inflow of money, borrowing wisely or repaying a debt. Okay, we're going to read this because this is about the masculine finding the balance. The Six of Pentacles, the Six of Autumn. Sharing the success that you're blessed with is vitally important. As you give to those in need, heaven gives back to you. Oh, that's nice. Giving doesn't have to be in the form of money. There are many who are in need of your time as a volunteer. Perhaps you have excellent advice to provide or could offer instruction or experience to an apprentice. So I'm feeling here is how much wisdom, how much strength the Divine Masculine will gain from the Divine Feminine, seeing as we have the Magician directing to the feet of the Divine Feminine. I feel here as if the Divine Masculine wants to bow before the Divine Feminine. Okay, let's carry on. Be wise in your giving. It's important to know that the organisation you're supporting is reputable and doing honest, good works. Do your research or ask God and the angels and the fairies to deliver clear messages about which associations you can trust. A prosperous fairy shares her wealth with those around her. Her kindness is admirable so long as she is giving wisely. So, this Divine Feminine that divine is, you have to ask the angels to deliver clear messages about which associations you can trust. They're directing you to the Divine Feminine. The Divine Masculine is being directed here. And really, I want to say that's the Divine Feminine here. A prosperous fairy shares her wealth with those around her. Her kindness is admirable so long as she is giving wisely. Okay, so the additional meanings of this card: balance between giving and receiving, providing what is truly needed, sharing the wealth, money for college or continuing education. I feel that continuing education here, most definitely. It's like tapping into the Divine Feminine. Okay, in the physical. So, the Hierophant. This is being divinely orchestrated. The masculines are here waiting for like the go-ahead. The keys are there of the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. I'm just having a look why he's got nails in his head. Only just really about hitting the nail on the head. There's 3 nails here. Okay, so we have the masculines here, the Divine Feminine's keys. I've noticed these nails in the head here. They're just waiting. I'm not sure. 6 of summer to return. I was going to say they're waiting. The only thing really what they're waiting for is to return to the Divine Feminine. But this could be hitting the nail on the head. There could still be some healing to take place. I'm not sure. But it says children or childhood. The return of people or romances from your past. Remembering events differently in a better or worse light than how they really occurred. That could be hitting the nail on the head. I think that there's 3 different kind of stories here that need to be, the Divine Masculine needs to be clear on. I feel like there's a deeper understanding before he can really move forward. But he's at this point of death. So this frustration here could be what we're kind of, something's hitting home, put it that way. 6 of summer. Children or childhood. The return of people or romances from your past. Remembering events differently. Which you do. After you've gone through your ascension, everything just seems You just have a totally different outlook, perception on life. You no longer feel the same that you how you used to feel about certain things. We had this yesterday about changing the story, how the story just changes. What was once, I suppose, important to you no longer seems to matter. You don't need to hang on to that. Okay, let's read the Six of Summer. I don't want to have to do this reading again. I feel I'm being kind of thrown off of it, and we're not doing it. We're going to carry on. So I feel I've just lost myself a bit here. Ah, the magic of childhood. When seen through the eyes of a child, the world abounds with joyful and amazing moments. This card asks you to get in touch with the bright outlook that still lives within you. Memories or people from your past can re-emerge in your life, bringing enchanting surprises with them. Experiences from childhood or younger days may unexpectedly provide inspiration for your current situation. So that could be just with those nails on the head, hitting the nail on the head. Think back to times in your life that are similar to what you're facing now. Make notes about how you handled those events and how you might apply what you learned to the present. Take special care to see the past accurately without putting a positive or negative spin on it. Two young fairies sit together, enjoying the stories they share. Perhaps they are happy memories from years gone by, or they could be events that just happened moments ago. Additional meanings of this card: children or childhood, pining for the past. The rekindling of old friendships or romances, events that bring back memories. Childlike innocence, becoming fast friends. Becoming fast friends. Let's have a look at this Ten of Pentacles, the legacy. This is where the divine is leading the divine masculine. It's what's due to him. So let's have a look at how he's viewing himself. The Nine of Winter. Unfounded fear, focusing on worst case scenarios, allowing worry to go out of proportion to the problem. This I fear, we can say it like that. This, I fear, for the divine masculine is the absence of the divine feminine at the Nine of Winter, because she has no fear. So he could have felt the pullback, that he's not really being affected anymore by the divine feminine. So let's have a look at, it's like, where has her energy gone? Her energy's gone because you are whole now. She's not missing you. She understands that you are part of her, and she's learned to integrate that within. Okay, so you're not separate. It's part of the ascension journey. You're not apart. So this could be what's kind of pushing the connection on now, because it's like the divine feminine is whole and the divine masculine's just become whole again himself. So let's look at this Nine of Winter. This card comes to you when worry has reached an unnecessary level. You may indeed have concerns and plans that you need to process, but your fear isn't in proportion to the circumstances. Take a few moments to go for a walk in nature, talk with God, the angels and the fairies, and quiet your mind. Things will feel better soon. Breathe. With success, oftentimes comes stress. If you let it build up, it can take a physical and emotional toll. Nurture yourself, explore ways to reduce your anxiety, such as massage, acupuncture, Reiki, or treating yourself to a spa day. A fairy has awakened from a bad dream. The doves represent the peace that could be hers, but her focus is upon her own fears. Additional meanings of this card: unfounded fears, difficulty sleeping, taking on the problems of the world, focusing on worst case scenarios, and needless guilt. I felt here the resting, that the divine feminine should be taking the advice of and has gone kind of to rest. It says that treating yourself to a spa day, ways to reduce anxiety, kind of sleeping better at night now. But I believe that this is the absence that the divine masculine is feeling. The other thing that shouted out was actually coming to support the Divine Feminine now with the legacy. That this can be a burden on the Divine Feminine. So the Divine Masculine could be considering that he wants to come and help lift the burden for the Divine Feminine to work on this together. Okay, to be support. It's like it's time, because it says like carrying the kind of taking on the problems of the world, and the Divine Feminine is a natural counsellor, helper, lover, nurturer, comforter. But we have the masculine here. Looks like he's coming in to join the Divine Feminine. He has his coin. Three of Spring. Plan your next steps with an eye to long term. Have patience. There are more good things to come. Satisfaction from a job well done. So I feel the Divine Feminine's been here kind of doing this alone. And it's like she's going to receive the satisfaction here. The Divine Masculine's planning his next step with an eye to long term. Divine Feminine, just have patience. There are more good things to come. What's the fear? The Lovers, maybe being defensive, could be standing his ground and not backing down now. He's actually going to address the connection. Address. They're quite vulnerable here, look. This card really just wants to... Oh, he's sitting on his pumpkin. Okay, so maybe Halloween had to kind of be done and dusted with Halloween. What's next? So have patience and don't worry. Take time to rest and plan your next steps, a prudent investment of time and money, or money. So here's a Divine Masculine, hopes or fears. Is it the right time? He's planning his next kind of steps. He's resting. Just waiting for that time. The Seven of Autumn, waiting for the harvest. Outcome? He's sitting on his throne here as the King of Wands. So let's see what card. The Two of Winter. Oh, we had another one. Okay. The Five of Summer. It's the Divine Masculine still feeling this emotional loss. Trust that there is a reason for everything that happens. Remove yourself from the negative emotions of others, focusing on that which frightens or worries you. So we have the Divine Masculine here. Maybe a little bit fearful of the Divine Feminine. I felt like he might feel as if he's going to get it in the neck. So there is this fear about approaching the Divine Feminine. Most definitely, yes, we have the King here of the outcome, but he's still in the Two of Winter at a crossroads. There's still fear here for the Divine Masculine. So it looks like this weekend is very much about facing this fear and preparing, if not, coming forth to the Divine Feminine. Two of Winter. He could be tapping into music here. Okay. Indecision is holding you back. Make the choices. Make the choice that's best for you, rather than trying to please others. Feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. Okay, let's read it. Now's the time to take action. Indecision has previously held you back, but this is the moment to trust yourself and move forward. Decision making can sometimes be challenging, so can picking up these cards. Okay. But your intuition will guide you to the perfect choice. You may be torn between doing what you know is right for you and doing what someone else wants you to do. Chances are this matter requires that you see to your own needs. If you lack clarity, you can ask God, the angels and the fairies to give you a sign, or just listen to your own spiritual guidance. Make your choice with confidence. It may be necessary to compromise with others in order to move forward. Don't allow past concerns to keep you from attaining your goals. A little fairy boy is faced with a difficult choice. Both make music, but which would truly bring forth the song inside his heart? Additional meanings to this card: feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional, overanalyzing the situation, and ignoring a problem in the hopes that it will go away. Okay, let's pull some oracle, but first let's see what the bottom of the deck is, because we've got divine justice here. This is what's due to the divine masculine: unconditional love, a legacy like no other, and I want to say a love like no other either. Okay, justice with the moon, the divine feminine. But we have powerful intuitive epiphanies, letting go of worry and fear, and understanding the truth of a situation. That's perfect. So divine justice is stepping in. The divine masculine is very much being guided towards the divine feminine through his intuition, his own GPS system. Okay, his own internal guidance system. That's fantastic, to have the divine masculine following his own guidance, his own heart. Okay. Magical unicorns. Maybe he feels like he's 18 again. How cool would that be? Well, we can pretend to go back to when we were 18 and go again, can't we? Who said that we can't? My kids have, well, they try to remind me all the time that I'm not 18. I do try and put up a fight, but hey. $18. Okay. Magical unicorns. Teamwork. It's perfect. Work with others to make this situation come about. It's like, I wanted to sing the Wonder Pets. What's going to work? Teamwork. Okay, get your cape. Let's get going. Teamwork. The situation you've asked about will resolve itself with the help of other people. You need to be part of a team to make it happen in the best possible way. Teamwork means that everyone shares in the work and the fun. It also means thinking about other people's feelings as well as the group's goal. Okay, so we have the divine feminine here very much working alone, but it's more fun to work with somebody else who's like-minded and has the same, who shares the same passions and desires. This card asks you to be a good team player. First, be open to asking other people for help. Second, when other people try to help you, let them do so. It's okay to have other people's help after all, and be sure to thank people who have helped you. Third, you'll need to offer to help others. In this way, you'll all help each other. A team can do more than one single person. You might have also picked this card because the unicorns see that you would benefit from playing a team sport. So, they'll help you find a wonderful team with an activity that fits your interests and abilities. Team sports can have benefits that help you in other life areas, such as making new friends, exercising, getting out in the fresh air and experiencing the joy of victory. Also remember that you and your angels are a team. Whenever you need help with anything, just think, angels, please help me with this. And they will go to work right away. And there's that support coming in for the divine masculines. I'm not going to pull another one from here. Let's pull a law of attraction card. This is a good one. It's a good one for the divine masculines. Okay, 24, which brings us to a 6, which is that harmony, bliss, finding your own bliss. And it says, I am selfish enough to want to feel good. You cannot perceive life. It's got a glare here. Okay. You cannot perceive life from any perspective other than from that of yourself. Selfishness is the sense of self. Unless you are selfish enough to care about how you feel and therefore direct your thoughts in such a way that you are allowing a true connection to your inner being, you have nothing to give another anyway. Everyone is selfish. It is not possible to be otherwise. Wow. Selfishness is a sense of self. Unless you are selfish enough to care about how you feel and therefore direct your thoughts in such a way that you are allowing a true connection to your inner being, you have nothing to give another anyway. If you don't love yourself, how on earth could you even think that you could really truly love another or allow yourself to be loved by them? So it's the whole mission of this was to become whole again, okay? To be selfish enough to live your life that you're here to live to the max. Let's leave it there. Everyone is selfish. It is not possible to be otherwise. Within 60 days, it can be mine. Within 2 months, okay. Where are we in 2 months' time? 1st of December. No, we're November. Oh, it's the 1st of January. We're in November now, aren't we? This is like, look at what could be possible for the new year. 2 months from today, the 1st of January. We're going to read it. That's cool. As you give thought to your future, that may be 10 years or 60 days away, you begin pre-paving. And then as you move into those pre-paved moments, and as that future becomes your present, you fine-tune it by saying, this is what I now want, and all of those pre-paved thoughts will fit together to bring you precisely the experience that you want to live now. Power of intention here. I've got some book recommendations. 60 days. That's enough time to order in some books, some physical books off of Amazon. Okay, and do your own studying on intention here about pre-paving. You have to be responsible for your own education. So my book recommendations, the one I'm really studying this as well, and I'm quite excited to maybe share what I learn. The Power of Intention, Dr. Wayne Dyer. This is the point where we're up to, is really tapping into this power to bring forth our intentions. And they can be from times, you know, maybe a goal or a dream that we set many years ago, and maybe now's the time to live that out. Excuse me. Napoleon Hill, How to Raise Your Own Salary. Okay, my favourite mentor for me, Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich. I don't actually read that book. I listen to it on audio. I very much enjoy listening to Think and Grow Rich. I recommend everybody gets themselves a copy of that. But How to Raise Your Own Salary, a rather bizarre name, because it's really working with the law of intention and the law of attraction. And this is the original interview between Andrew Carnegie and Napoleon Hill, where he shares the secret of success. And he just commissions Napoleon Hill to commit 20 years of his life to study the most successful people and to see what they had in common and whether these principles worked. And then I've got The Amazing Power of Deliberate Intent, Living the Art of Allowing, Esther and Jerry Hicks, The Teachings of Abraham. So as you give thought to your future, that may be 10 years or 60 days away, you begin pre-paving. And then as you move on to those pre-paved moments, and as that future becomes your present, you fine-tune it by saying, this is what I now want. And all of those pre-paved thoughts will fit together to bring you precisely the experience that you now want to live. And we had, the Divine Feminine was calling in her soulmate. Okay, so she was calling in her divine partner. She had this understanding that she was ready, and she was ready to receive that. Out went the intention. Okay, right, let's move on. Let's see what the romance angels would like to say. Healing family issues. I felt here there was something. There was just something that needed to be addressed. A pincushion as well come to mind when I first saw these. I'm just putting together what I'd feel like with a pincushion. So maybe like, I don't know, like a voodoo doll. And some of those pins just need to be pulled out. Some of the kind of deep inner hurts that the Divine Masculine is needing to heal. Healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. I'm not sure why I'm picking up on these pins in the head, but I am. And okay, let's just read this because I'm not sure how to make sense of them. The answers to your prayers about your love life are based in your feelings about your mother and father. The romance angels see that you'd benefit from releasing old anger towards one or both of them. That's because your feelings about your parents influence your choice of romantic partner and the way in which you deal with relationships. You can ask the angels to help you put forgiveness into action. To forgive someone doesn't mean that you're endorsing his or her behaviour. The angels will tell you, rather, that doing so is a form of deep emotional detoxification. It means I'm no longer willing to carry toxic energy within my mind and body. When you find inner peace with your parents, you'll no longer need to attract unhealthy relationship patterns and partners as a way of healing family emotional wounds. All of your relationships, especially the one you have with yourself, will benefit. Okay, so we're healing family emotional wounds, them old templates that the Divine Masculine is still clearing through. A deeper understanding. Itchy palm. The Oracle of the Fairies. There could be children here involved. Seeing as we spoke about children or childhood, anything that kind of does need to be wrapped up, dealt with. Because we have children here, and we do have children around a father here. And that's quite hard, isn't it, to, you know, be selfish when you have children. You feel that there's a responsibility, okay, that you're not allowed to be selfish for yourself. Motivation. When spring approaches the flower fairy, okay. When spring approaches, the flower fairies urge you to spring into action. If there's something you've been merely thinking about doing, they say get busy and do it. Now the Two of Winter said that indecision's holding you back. So let's have a look at the motivation card. The flower fairies are called pillywiggins. I'm not sure why I'm not able to read today. The flower fairies, also called pillywiggins, are super excited to fly into your cards. They know you have a special task at hand, and they're here to encourage you to get on with it. Working with the flower essences, aromatherapy, and scented candles will help you to tune into the flower fairies. The scent of a flower can have a powerful healing effect on your mind, body, and spirit. Perhaps you could bring some fresh flowers into your home, ideally still growing on the plants rather than cut flowers. Wearing colourful clothing in the same shade as your favourite flowers can also help you to feel uplifted, as well as brightening the day of anyone who sees you. The woman of Rashtathan, Ashtafan. Come on, seriously. In India, where bright colours are now referred to as flowers of the desert, seeing them certainly lifts the spirit. Call on the flower fairies if you feel you're lacking motivation. It's said that the best way to get something done is to ask a busy person, or in this case, some busy fairies. They might not do the job for you, but they will certainly help to motivate you. You can connect to them easily by being outside next to some flowers or inside your home near a potted plant in bloom and saying, "Flower fairies, I call on these to motivate and inspire me." The flower fairies will leave a sign or two over the coming days or weeks. Just pay extra attention so you don't miss the creative ways in which they impart their flowery wisdom. So I want to say, take note of any smells, scents that you're receiving that maybe, I want to actually say maybe take you back to like childhood memories, just make you remember good memories. Okay. But the motivation, the fairies, the pillywiggins. They say they won't do the job for you, but they sure will motivate you. Okay, we're going to have to end this reading, guys. I'm going to end on one more card because I struggle to get... I'm struggling to even get this one out, and I do want to get a reading out. So let's have a look. Okay, a Rumi message. Let's just end on a Rumi message. It's a bit all over the place. Okay, it's all good. Okay, let's finish on this message. Divine discontent. Just felt the divine masculines had enough, really, of being discontented in life. It's like it's time for him to be selfish, to look after his own needs. Okay, so card number 12. Winter falls upon us, so spring can bring new growth. Cry the tears, allow the longing. Sadness brings surrender and a deep desire to be free. I know your heart, I hear it breaking and groaning in darkest nights when you imagine yourself to be silently cast adrift in sleep. It speaks to me, that sacred heart of yours, whispering its longing and bemoaning its divine discontent. It knows when something is amiss. It senses that something is not quite right as yet. There is a piece of the puzzle missing. Even in its tremendous gratitude for all that is, and there is much gratitude and sweet appreciation in that precious heart of yours, there is a murmuring, a questing. It cries out to heaven, "Vouchsafe me a blessing. I cannot go on. I am broken and in need of your tenderness for healing. I am empty and in need of filling, not with stuff and bits, but with the most precious nectar of divine fulfillment. Nothing else will satisfy me. Please, please restore me to wholeness. I can bear this missing piece, this broken disarray no longer. I listen and I cajole that wise heart of yours. I praise it for its honesty and longing, for the longing is an irresistible perfume to the beloved, attracting the only salve that will soothe the divine discontent of your truth-speaking heart, that of divine presence, absolute and unquestionable. It's picked up the aroma here, guys, of the scent, the irresistible perfume to the beloved. Okay. So I feel the divine masculine here is following his senses. Divine has most definitely stepped in. Okay. So there is a sense within you, perhaps quite obvious to your conscious mind, or perhaps only dimly registered, as an unnameable underlying sense of anxiety that something in your life is not quite right. It may be the sense, even amongst so much gratitude, of a yearning yet to be met, a longing yet to be fulfilled and satisfied. This is the pain of the awakening heart. That heart is capable of bliss and ecstatic reverence for the sheer beauty and wonder of creation. Yet, as the heart matures, there will be a process of deep, passionate longing that awakens for the divine. It is the impatience for the caress of the great lover, for the presence of the divine to come to you. Over time, that longing will grow from a mild inner sense of incompleteness needing to become whole. It will develop into a holy fever, a sacred rage, a stamping of dancing feet, a pounding of fists upon the altar, and a longing so deep and distressing that one may well break into tears at the possibility of bearing the pain of apparent separation for even a moment longer. This is most definitely speaking about the divine masculine, says the apparent separation of not the impossibility of bearing the pain of apparent separation for even a moment longer. And I said the divine feminine was at this point of being whole and not feeling the separation anymore, which has caused the divine masculine to really feel this. Okay, where is my beloved? Cries the awakening heart. I call for my beloved, and yet I am here still waiting. I can stand this no longer. As devotion grows and passion for the divine intensifies, so too does this yearning. So much so that this may come to feel as though your heart is breaking for the divine, or perhaps you are not quite there yet. Your heart is attached to smaller gods, such as your status, your job, your lover, your body looking a certain way, or being able to live your life in a particular way. These smaller gods are not necessarily an issue, yet you have drawn this oracle, and so it is guidance for you that the divine wants to draw you closer. Sometimes that means we will have the me-grey meal wrestled from our hand, so we may feast upon something far more delectable and grand. The divine is a fiercely possessive lover. If there is a face of another beloved preventing you from longing for the divine embrace, and if you cannot see that it is the divine beloved within your lover that you are loving, well then something will be done by heaven. So make your relationships sacrosanct. Seek the divine in all things. When you cannot, when the power of lesser gods has you in its grip, acknowledge it. Bear witness to it. Do not chastise. Instead, be truthful. Let your heart break and lie prostrate on the floor, hands clutching and head bowed as though only your sadness and flight could stir the heart of the divine beloved into descent of secure and grace, saving you from a life far too bland for your exquisite, we're coming up with the words, Epicurean palate. Just don't misinterpret the pain and think that something really is wrong. If you are surrounded by status and money and cannot understand why you should mourn, it is even more important that you allow yourself to do so. Mourning is to be felt. Understanding is not so relevant. But if you must seek understanding, then know this, dear blazing angel. You are waking from the deepest slumber, and with your awakening heart, you are realising a truth. A part of you, deeper and wider, vaster and more instinctive, truthful and intelligent than your mind, is lonely for the divine embrace. This is right, this is sensible, and this is sanity. It is the pain, the real noble pain of the heart that says, there is something more than this inadequacy. this settling for plastic instead of precious gemstones that must end now. I cannot be fed by pixelated sunsets in animation upon my computer screen. I yearn to be blasted by so much radiance and beauty, by the real thing, that I am stupefied. I must witness so much divine splendour that all I can utter is some incoherent grunt, my mind dissembled and my heart ignited by the presence of my beloved. I want to become a fumbling, a static wreck in the presence of my beloved. I want to allow this pain, this yearning, this divine discontent to guide me to my holy lover, so my life may never be the same again. And so it shall be. The discontent divine growing within you is the beginning, not the destiny. Its purpose is to lead you into your greatest connection yet with divinity, so do not resist it, witness it. Do not dismiss it, trying to cover up its smell with rose petals. Let your rank discontent be the pathway to divinity. Look beyond what is, what has been prized and treasured, and is now found to be plated, and not the precious gold it was once esteemed to be. Don't be scared, for you are my sidekick on this great holy adventure. I am here, you see, just around the corner. I have you in my sights, though you may not see me yet. I am holding a loaf of fresh bread, hot from the kitchen of the Creator, hoping to entice you with its wafting scent, tempting you to follow me on towards something of far more substance. If you are still stuck on pine-scented air freshener, imagining it to be anything akin to the wild scent of the pine forest for real, then how can I tempt you? Let the stench be the stench. Then the fragrance of God can be discerned, and together we can leave what is less behind once and for all, grabbing, like hungry school children, for the divine bread with sweet, fresh scent filling the air. That was an awesome reading. Have yourself a fantastic weekend, and I will catch up with you guys soon. So take care. Much love. Bye for now.